For our Tech Talk tonight, Mohit Rajans joins us. Mohit, we've talked about Elon's statement to advertisers saying he bought Twitter to help humanity. What do you make of this in this entire Twitter saga?
Well, it's a pretty hefty price tag to pay for a social media network, especially not the top social media network in the world right now. So I think when we look at his mitigating of circumstances, what we can probably assess is that he understands that he's paid a lot of money for a business that still has a lot of value to offer. And so all of the complaints that people, well, many of the complaints that people have had about Twitter over the past 2 to 5 years have had to do with everything from the way that they're monetizing to the way that, hate speech, etc., is spread and the way it can't be moderated. And of course, the safety security concerns since Jack Dorsey has left. So I think Elon Musk steps in at a time where, yes, there is room for growth and there is opportunity with the social media platform. It's unfortunate, though, that he doesn't come with a great reputation to run it.
And speaking more about Elon Musk, what's the latest on his official takeover? What can we expect?
Well, most sources do say that he officially has closed the deal. There's a few regulatory affairs that they have to deal with. And remember, Twitter operates in several different countries, and it already has been banned in several countries. So it'll be interesting to see if Elon is able to use some of his charm and power and his success in business to, move the ship to a place where he can actually get it a little bit more free to use in certain places. The other thing I wanted to note about this is that Twitter has actually had a lot of success during the pandemic. They've rolled out several new tools and they've started to capture a new audience. So it'll be interesting to see if Elon actually starts to use that momentum or if he tries to take it down to the bare bones. I think one of the things that we're forgetting in all of this takeover is that Twitter holds a massive digital footprint and archive. And I think that we unfortunately aren't in a situation where we're having that conversation yet, which is, this belongs to the public in some senses in the way that many people have participated in building the company. What says that light doesn't get turned off and used in a different way? There's a real potential for some of the history of the world, the way it's been documented through Twitter, to be lost as a result of it being controlled by one person in this entity.
Let's talk about social media companies in general that have been struggling. Which ones have been hit the hardest and why are they seeing such a drop-off?
Well, just recently we saw the drop-off of the stock for Meta, which is the new company, which was Facebook. Now, there's a few tricky things going on with Facebook and Meta here. For one, they did spend the last year and a half trying to co-opt what the metaverse is. And I say co-opt because they don't own the metaverse. The metaverse is a multiple placed item in the web where people are able to work within different places that are created for everything from trading to education. And Facebook doesn't own that. But unfortunately, that is going to take a little bit of time for them to work in all the wonders that they want to. So they're not ready yet. It's taking up a lot of their cash. And the other part is they're not making as much money on advertising. Why? 2 reasons. One, traffic is down. People are finding other things to actually use with their attention and their time. And people are going to different places and different platforms. And 2, because of Apple, they're unable to actually do something that they did very cleverly for the longest time, and that is track your behavior. They tracked your behavior by the way you were clicking on advertising or the way that you were scrolling on pictures. Sometimes you wonder why you're getting the constant feed of things based on what you've spoken about or what you've liked. Well, there's your answer. Apple has helped to curb some of that, and it's meant a dip in advertising sales for Meta. So those 2 things combined have been a little bit of the reason why you've seen that company start to decline in the way that their actual value was supposed to be. But they're a cash-rich company. So let's not forget that all of the innovation that Mark Zuckerberg is involved with right now, this could be a blip of just a small period of time. While he talks about some of the newer innovation stuff that he's been working on for the company, I do think there's still a lot of hope for them.
It's almost nice to hear about another company other than Twitter because they've just dominated the news as of late. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Mohit.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.